Hi guys and welcome back, it's Simba. This is going to be my new video explaining the hottest topic in the nation right now, which is Roora or Lobola. And by demand from some of you guys, today we are going to be talking about the big stuff. What is Rusambo, Vramuromo, Mafukidza, Zibinge, and a whole lot of items that are used on the Lobola day. I will also be giving away a free digital PDF of a typical Lobola or Roora list in the episode. So make sure you watch until the end to download the list and many more bonus tips and reference materials. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Alright, let's get straight into the action. A man marrying a woman from the Shona culture has to observe the Roora or Lobola. Roora is the customary token paid by the groom-to-be when he is about to marry his bride-to-be to his in-laws. This is a sign or show of love and affection. Paying the bride price or Roora is an acceptable way in the Zimbabwean culture for a groom to ask for a bride's hand in marriage. Also, this token is for the appreciation of the bride's parents for raising the bride-to-be and to unite the two different families. Bride price or Roora is split into categories, so I'll be listing them down as we go. The payment of Lobola is common in the Southern African region in countries like Malawi, Zambia, South Africa, Botswana, and Zimbabwe, of course. So before we get into the action, let's start with a bit of a background. In traditional Zimbabwe, Iron Age century, Roora was paid using a hoe or badza. The hoe was obtained from well-known iron smelters from Mbudzi, an area in the Wedza Mountains. The badza was the most accepted symbol of payment of Lobola. When a man failed to present a badza as Lobola in marriage, he asked kutema ugariri, meaning he would stay and work for the bride until the father-in-law was satisfied with his labor, then he would be given his bride. In Christianity, we can trace back the origins of kutema ugariri in the Old Testament, where Jacob worked 7 years for his bride Rachel. However, with urbanization, the Roora system moved from kutema ugariri and submission of badza to monetary payments, livestock, mostly cattle, and groceries. After obtaining the list from the in-laws and agreeing to meet on the set date, the groom engages a third party named munyai to facilitate the Roora proceedings. Munyai's role is to negotiate on behalf of the groom from the start of the day until payments are complete, and the groom is invited for introductions to the family he is married into. The groom is usually accompanied by his family, aunts, uncles, siblings, and maybe his father. The groom does not sit or attend the room or the place where the negotiations are taking place. However, he and his companions are given a room to sit in and wait for the ceremony to take place. This stage involves the munyai, who is a go-between when a man goes to pay the bride price, and he switches wife's family, stating to the family his intentions and purpose of the visit. For example, I've been sent by the husband to look for sadza, literally translated to I've come to marry your daughter. Here they are asked who they mean. Once this is done, the bride's family will ask for the daughter if she knows the people who have come to marry her. A list is given to the groom before the ceremony. This will be a list of groceries required to bring to the family. The items are then checked and should match that on the original. A lot of tolerance is needed as this is not a money-making ceremony. At this stage, the bride's family will ask for ndiro, normally a wooden plate from the munyai, and if he has brought one, he would present it. This plate in the past used to be provided by the bride's family, but since some began charging for them, some will come with their wooden plates. Once the plate has been placed, a process called sonungura homwe, loosening of pockets, or vuramuromo, meaning the opening of the mouth, where a small fee is paid for greeting the guests. At this stage, some fines may be imposed. For instance, if the groom failed to meet an earlier date, even if he notified the bride's family well in advance, and any other misdemeanors he might have done. This, however, should be done with humor and laughter, just to make the munyai feel at home and comfortable. The process of Roora negotiations can be long and complex, and involves many members from both the bride's and the groom's extended families. So these days, due to our busy nature, in some parts it is being shortened and made less complex. The payment stage has many stages, which can even take days or even years to complete. These are now grouped into two main sub-processes, which are number 1, Zva Baba, gifts for the father, and number 2, Amai, gifts for the mother. This stage involves a payment that is direct to the bride's father. A guardian or representative can accept the charge for these if the paternal father is deceased or not known. The main payment is the matekenyandevu, to acknowledge him for pulling off the beard as she sat on his knee, or putting up with the playful antics of his daughter as a child. The amount paid for the father is negotiable. Same as the process for the father, the payment is strictly for the bride's mother. A guardian or representative can accept the charge for these as well if the maternal mother is deceased. Gifts for the mother of the bride in the old days included things like mbereko, for carrying the bride in a pouch or sling when she was a baby, and mafukedzadumbu, for covering of the belly. This alternatively translated to carrying the baby in the womb, or tucking the baby with a small blanket when she wakes at night. These are now charged under this blanket term due to the complexity of past processes, as well as the fact that people may have forgotten exactly what the names of the processes. The amount paid for the mother is non-negotiable. This is a live goat that is brought by the men and is slaughtered during the payment process. The whole goat is cooked and made ready to be served at the completion of the ceremony. If they don't bring a goat, a payment will be asked, and this money is shared equally between all the boys available at the household. Usually this can cause a lot of commotion if the amount is not even. The woman being married is required to pick some money from the plate herself. This money in some places can be set by the aunt or the woman's sister. This is a small allowance for mari inonongwa, for the purchase of household or cooking utensils, and this amount is given to the bride. If they are younger sisters or siblings, she may give them a portion of the money. This money is for the cooking that would have taken place for the party, which the groom will finance after the ceremony is concluded. Usually this money can be returned by the woman to her future husband to cover for other payment that would follow. This is the most important stage called Rusambo, and although this process is referred to or called Roora, this is the name given to the whole process and all of the gifts, not just the bride price or dowry. Paying Roora is called kubvisapfuma. This means giving or parting with wealth. The bride price varies and nowadays factors in things like social class of both the bride and the groom. This, however, can be paid as a part payment as long as some of the payment is made. If the groom fails to come up with any part payment, then the whole process becomes null and void, and will have to be started again at a later date, and he will not be given his bride. Speaking of Maria Kunonga, Rusambo and gifts, we made a video showing a full Lobola day from start to finish. You can watch the video by clicking the link up here, or I will leave a link to the video in the description below. This stage traditionally is the gift of cattle, and nowadays it is commonly paid in cash, although the amount will still be a representative of the fair market price for cattle. Normally the number is between 7 to 8 cows, and in those, the most important one is for the mother, known as mombe yehumai. There should always be a live cow that the groom gives to the mother-in-law. The cow is expected to produce an offspring as proof that the union has been blessed. Once the offspring has been weaned, it is expected that the cow can be slaughtered by the bride's family and eaten by both families as thanksgiving and strengthening of both the couple's relationship as well as the family as a whole. This will take place after 2 to 5 years. This stage is dependent on the Rusambo stage. If the Rusambo is not available, then they cannot proceed to this current stage. This stage is also dependent on the Rusambo stage. Majasi is the gift of clothes that the groom is expected to buy for his in-laws. It's stated after the Rusambo has been paid, and the bride's family are happy with the groom, and his party will then be invited and welcomed into the family. Kupinzwa umusha. The groom will then greet his in-laws As a new groom, this means he is no longer a prospective groom or stranger, but a member of the family with a special traditional clapping greeting, Gushi, and is permitted to be part of the household. In the Zimbabwean culture, it is commonly believed that Roora is not a once-off payment. However, in other cultures, the Lobola payment is paid at once. There's a Shona idiom that says, Mukwasha mukuyu, haapere kudyiwa, meaning the son-in-law is a fig tree, which always has fruits to give. This idiom indicates that the groom continues to pay Roora throughout his lifetime. If you would like to know more about Lobola mysteries and the rise of Lobola photo shoots and Lobola cakes, we did another video which explains this. You can watch the video by clicking the link up here, or I'll leave a link in the description below. And for our bonus tips, during the Lobola processes, some of these items may be added like makandinzwa ani or makandinzwa nani. This means who told you that I have a daughter and is paid for. Zibinge. This is a small fine that is paid for any infringements done by the groom whilst dating the bride. An example that can be found is the groom, whilst he is still a boyfriend, getting into the compound of the bride whilst he is still a girlfriend before Lobola money has been paid. Kwanyaruzhowa, machkorwa, or damage. This is paid if the couple has started to cohabit before the payment of Lobola, or the bride is discovered to be pregnant or no longer a virgin. And now for our Lobola list, I want it to be interactive. So in the comments below, simply tell me what you think of the whole Lobola process. And also type #email me, and I will gladly email you the Lobola list that is used in Zimbabwe. If you think there is anything that I left out, let's discuss it in the comments below. If you enjoy Lobola videos, please do leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when we publish more of these videos. Thanks for watching all the way. I know it was a long video than my usual ones. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.